bring back our meteorologists, Dylan Hudler and Brian Slocum. And guys, you're going to want to make those preparations before those games begin today, because after that, it's really just a toss-up. Is that right?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a toss-up, but I would say, don't risk it. The sooner, the better, as you're finishing up those last-minute preps. We know this storm is going to start likely sometime this afternoon and evening, but certain trends within the radar we're seeing now suggest it may start a little sooner in some locations. So, regardless of whether it starts at 3, 4, or 5 o'clock, it's better to be safe than sorry and be done at least by lunchtime today. You don't want to mess around and get caught out trying to finish those preps while snow and sleet starts to fall and roads get slick. So the take home here is better safe than sorry. If you've got time this morning, get out and do it while you can. Winter weather alerts, mainly winter storm warnings, in effect for much of the area. That'll go into effect at 1 o'clock this afternoon and continue all the way through midday Monday. So a prolonged duration event expected for us. Here's what it looks like outside right now. It's cold, a few clouds overhead. 30 degrees in Greensboro. We've dropped below freezing, and with a northeast wind at about 10, it really feels more like the 20s outside. It's going to be cold today, and that cold air slipping in from the north and east is already in place ahead of our winter storm. And if you've lived here long enough, you know we need the cold air in place before the storm arrives to see some of those significant wintry impacts. And that's what we're seeing. That's what we're expecting. The storm's really starting to get going now over parts of the lower Mississippi River Valley and the mid-south. Some of that moisture starting to extend a little farther east, a little closer to the North Carolina-Tennessee border. Brian's going to talk much more about what we're seeing with those trends here in just a moment. But I want to give you your 12-hour forecast for today. As we mentioned this morning, you should be all right. Snow will reach the mountains first. It may start even as early as around lunchtime, but then those chances really start to increase through the afternoon and evening. Temperatures will be in the 20s today. It's going to be very cold all across the region. We'll all be below freezing all day long today, and when you factor in that northeasterly breeze, it'll really feel more like the teens. For the foothills, delay that snow start time by a couple of hours. Early, mid-afternoon there in our western foothill communities, and then those chances really start to ramp up through the rest of the day. Highs hovering around 30. For the Piedmont, mid to late afternoon start time, and then continuing, getting pretty icy and pretty messy through the rest of the evening. Upper 20s for temperatures today. So here's how all this could play out. Mountains, western counties could see a couple snow showers even as early as lunchtime, early afternoon. But I really think it's later in the afternoon, mid to late afternoon and closer to dinner time where this really starts to pick up. We may see a brief burst of snow and sleet at the onset, and then this becomes more of just a heavy, steady sleet across much of the area after sunset and then later and later into our Saturday evening. Now, sometime early Sunday morning, we're expecting a transition to all freezing rain, and that's really when the big issues could start to arise. The sooner that transition to freezing rain happens, the more potential icing we could see on all these surfaces, which of course would lead to more and more significant impacts. So for across the area, on Sunday, we're expecting freezing rain, freezing drizzle throughout much of the day, and it shouldn't end until Sunday night as a quick burst moving through the rest of the area and clearing out overnight. But the impacts are going to last well into next week. So here's a summary for you, what you need to know. Get out, do those preps early in the day, at least by lunchtime if you can, because this afternoon and evening from west to east, the chance of snow and sleet really going to start to increase. Tonight, we're all in the thick of it. Sleet changing to freezing rain, and then icy on Sunday as that freezing rain and freezing drizzle continues through much of the day. Now we're just starting to make small, very small adjustments to the forecast and communicating those to you in real time. Brian, come on in here. We've been keeping a close eye on the radar this morning, seeing and looking at how things are unfolding in real time, starting to see a few reports out to the west, maybe a little sooner than originally expected.
Well, it's because it's patchy coming in, and that's what was expected. The storm isn't going to start with a solid area of snow and sleet and freezing rain coming in. It's going to take some time to moisten up that lower atmosphere. But in that highlighted area that you see in red, we've got an area of moderate precipitation that has developed. And we've seen all kinds of reports in the Chattanooga area, north of Atlanta through northern Georgia, that it's coming down heavily enough to actually reach the ground. Not all of that snow that you see, or rain and sleet and freezing rain, is actually doing that. In fact, we have a few snow showers at cloud level beginning to move in the mountains. I don't think this produces much of anything. If anything, a few flurries at the onset, and then it's over because the air is so dry. A lot of that's not going to reach the ground. But to Dylan's point, that he made quite well, we are expecting this to gradually develop over time today. The longer you wait to finish your preparations, the better chance you have of getting caught in a snow shower. But even if you do, I don't think this initially is going to cause too many issues as long as it's brief and not very heavy. It's when we get into the latter part of the day, when it comes down more steadily, that roads will turn quickly because it's so cold outside. Heavy icing down the road as we get into later tonight and into Sunday. The bulk of this storm could cause some long outages. And then after that, we really don't warm up very much at all. It's going to stay below freezing for the bulk of the next week, and that could prolong the effects of this. And if you have a cold house due to a power outage, burst pipes are certainly a rising concern into next week. As far as how much snow and sleet we are forecasting here, again, snow at the beginning, changing to sleet. This is kind of a combination of both. I think the profile is going to favor more sleet in this instance than anything else. Highest totals will be close to the Virginia border and across our western counties. When you talk about icing, I think the entire area could see a significant enough icing to cause problems with travel and cause problem with at least some minor power outages. When we get into the brighter pinks, you get into a situation where a half an inch of ice can be catastrophic to some communities. Trees will come down. Outages could last for several days. And this is the very real concern and why we've been calling this a major ice storm for so long. You can see the temperatures. We've got a couple of days in single digits over the next week or so. We should be pretty dry, and the afternoon should be pretty sunny. So hopefully that will help gradually clear road surfaces, even if temperatures are close to 30.